The Silent Snowman. The small town of Whitestone was known for its picturesque winters. Every year as December rolled around, the snow blanketed the town like a soft quilt, and festive lights sparkled on every street. The townspeople celebrated New Year's Eve with a massive bonfire in the town square, surrounded by snowmen crafted by children and adults alike. But there was one rule that no one broke. No one ever built a snowman on the outskirts of the town, near the old pine woods. It was an unspoken tradition, a warning passed down through generations. The snow there isn't just snow, the elders would say. It's mixed with something else, something wrong. Emma, a high school senior, had heard the stories her whole life. But like most teenagers, she dismissed them as silly superstitions. This year, she was determined to make her New Year's Eve unforgettable. Armed with her two best friends, Jake and Mia, she decided they'd break the town's one sacred rule. "We're going to build the biggest snowman Whitestone has ever seen," Emma declared. "And we're going to do it there," Jake added, pointing toward the dark line of trees that marked the edge of the old pine woods. Mia hesitated. "I don't know, guys, what if the stories are true?" Emma rolled her eyes. "Come on, Mia. They're just trying to scare us. We'll be fine. It's just snow." Reluctantly, Mia agreed, and the three friends set off with scarves, gloves, and a cart full of supplies. When they reached the outskirts, the air seemed colder, sharper, as though the trees themselves were exhaling frost. The snow glittered under the moonlight, but there was something strange about it. It was pure white, untouched, and unnervingly perfect. No footprints, no animal tracks, nothing. "This is creepy," Mia muttered. "Stop being a baby," Emma said. "Let's get to work." They began piling snow, shaping it into a towering snowman. But the longer they worked, the more unsettling the snow felt. It wasn't cold like normal snow. It was damp and sticky, clinging to their gloves in clumps. As they rolled the final ball into place, Jake found something buried beneath the snow. "Hey guys, look at this," he called. He held up an old rusted bell on a string. The bell jingled faintly, though no wind was blowing. "Cool," Emma said, grabbing it. "Let's put it on the snowman. It'll be like its heart." She tied the bell around the snowman's neck, and they stood back to admire their work. The snowman was enormous, nearly 8 feet tall, with coal-black eyes and a crooked stick smile. It looked down at them with an almost human expression. "Happy New Year, Frosty," Emma joked. As the clock struck midnight, distant fireworks lit up the sky. The trio cheered, their breath visible in the freezing air. But then the bell jingled. They froze. "Did you hear that?" Mia whispered. "It's just the wind," Jake said, though his voice wavered. The bell jingled again, louder this time. The snowman's head tilted slightly. "No way," Emma said, backing up. "It didn't just—" Before she could finish, the snowman's coal eyes seemed to sink deeper into its face, as though they were staring straight into her soul. "Run," Mia whispered. The snow beneath their feet shifted almost as if alive. They turned and sprinted, but the snow seemed to grab at their boots, dragging them down. Behind them, the bell jingled again, now a steady, rhythmic sound. Jake screamed first. Emma turned to see him being dragged backward, his body sinking into the snow as if it were quicksand. He clawed at the surface, but his hands disappeared into the icy white. "Jake!" Mia shrieked, but he was gone. The snow settled, smooth and unbroken. Emma and Mia ran, their lungs burning from the cold and fear. They reached the edge of the woods and collapsed on the ground, gasping for air. "We have to go back for him," Mia sobbed. Before Emma could respond, the bell jingled again. They looked back. The snowman was no longer where they had left it. It was closer. The massive figure stood at the tree line, its coal eyes now glowing faintly red. The crooked smile had stretched wider, revealing sharp icicle-like teeth. It raised one stick arm and pointed at them. "We're going to die," Mia whispered. "No," Emma said, grabbing her arm. "Run. Just run." They bolted toward the town, but the snowman was faster. It didn't move like something made of snow. It flowed, like a wave of ice and frost. As they reached the first houses of Whitestone, the snowman stopped. It stood at the edge of the town, staring at them. The bell jingled one last time, and the snowman tilted its head, almost in disappointment, before retreating into the woods. The next morning, search parties combed the area. They found no trace of Jake, only 3 coal eyes scattered in the snow near the old pine woods. Emma and Mia never spoke of that night again, but every New Year's Eve, as the fireworks light up the sky, they hear it, the faint jingle of a bell carried on the wind.